Hi there, welcome to Within Living's YouTube channel. My name is Lois, and I'm so happy that you're here, and I sincerely thank you for coming here. It's wonderful having you here. So whether you're a returning viewer, subscriber, I appreciate your support for my channel, and if you're new here, we welcome you here. Thank you for coming. We're all full of love, so you just come right on in here and bring your own love too, okay? So happy that you're here. So here at Within Living, all our conversations are going to be centered on spirituality, but with a very specific focus on consciousness. And when I say consciousness, I'm talking about going back within and connecting back to the true essence of who you are at your being, your seat of consciousness. I'm talking about going back within and connecting back to the God that is within you, who in religion, some call that the spirit, right? And in the non-religious world, they call that the soul, and in the scientific world, they call that the subconscious mind. Some people even call it the universe, and it really doesn't matter what we call it. No, because you see, it is not contingent or dependent on what we name it. It simply is. It is the seat of consciousness, and it is the only one consciousness that exists and that everything is brought forth from. So that consciousness, or God, if you will, we call it God, some call it Father, it actually dwells within you. It is the seat of consciousness within you. It is your consciousness of being, in other words. You could not possibly be conscious or aware of being alive if it did not give you your existence of being, which is your soul and your consciousness that you have a life. You are life itself, that you are here. So this is where my conversations go. And all my content is always going to be very thought-provoking, because I am going to bring you content that takes you below the surface on all these conversations. And I'm going to take you back. A lot of them are going to cause you to have to really go back within to the seat of consciousness and ask the questions of it. Why? Because that seat of consciousness is the infinite intelligence of all existence. My friend, it's not out there off in the ether somewhere else. It is within you. It dwells within you. It is actually you. And so my content is going to cause you to begin to think critically. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. Go back, reassess all the things you've been believing. Question them. Why have I been believing them? Are they serving me effectively? Are they still serving me? And if they're not, then really challenge them and change your perspective about who you are, what it is you want to believe, and go from there. And that's all done within, because you're the cause of everything. Your external or three-dimensional world is only the reflection of what goes on within. So that's who we are here, and I'm so happy that you're here. I'm really excited. It's always my joy to bring these conversations to you. So I'm very, very grateful for the privilege of being able to do that. All right, so today now, I want to bring another really juicy conversation to you. And in this conversation, I want to give a special shout out, right, to a subscriber here, but she's also one of my one-on-one coaching clients. And I was having a coaching call with her, and in our call, we were having this conversation. And she shared with me that she had just a wake-up moment of an awareness of what the topic that I want to address today. And so I want to give a very special shout out to Tashana Roberts. Tashana, yes. You and I were having this conversation in our coaching call, and I really appreciate you sharing, giving me feedback about what was happening with you in your experience and the incredible revelation that you had, because I know it has shifted you into a higher state of awareness. And so what that conversation is, she was saying that she had this revelation about what it means when I say in the videos, or when you might have heard other people say it, I have it now. What exactly does it mean when I say I have it now? So Tashana had her revelation on that. And that has shifted her. And so she's my inspiration for bringing forth this video today. Not sure what we're going to title it yet, but somewhere along the line that I have it, what it means that I have it now. So first of all, I want to say in the quantum world, right, which is the infinite world or the invisible world, or what in religion they call the spirit world, or even in non-religion they call it the spirit world. It is actually a real world, and it is the actual world. This that we're experiencing in our three-dimensional experience, in the human experience that we call reality, that's a misnomer. It's really not our reality. It's not our truth. There's nothing about it that is true. It is all simply a perception of what the human mind has made up an idea that it perceives that experience is to be, and we experience or accept it or see it or perceive it as that. But it is not our truth. And even in that, those perceptions were formed in the mind, first in thoughts. Everything starts in a thought, people. There's nothing in your physical world that just came out of the physical world. Nothing has ever come out of the physical world. I know to a lot of you, especially if you really have not had the revelation about who you are, and particularly in your self-concept or on the journey that you, honest to God, you may be awakened, but maybe not really fully understand that, honest to God, you truly are God. And there is another world, and that you are this other world. And the experience you're having is simply a human experience. It is not your identity. If you've not had that revelation yet, then keep watching, because my videos will help you to get there. But if you have not had that revelation yet, then it's hard to perceive, based on the limitations of the logical mind, that what do you mean that this is not real out here? What we see and feel and touch, everything out here, they got to be real, right? Well, they're really not so solid as you think. Underneath them really is just energy. But they did not just come up out of the physical world, the three-dimensional world. They came out of the infinite, invisible world, what we call the quantum world nowadays, or the spirit world, the invisible world. In other words, they came out of God. They all came out of God. When an architect is when someone wants to build a house, let's say it's a custom house, or a builder is going to build a series of houses. He doesn't just build from the physical. It starts here. Even if he copied somebody else's floor plan, that floor plan started in somebody's mind. It starts in the mind. It starts with a thought. And that thought, when perpetuated, let's say the architect will take the thought. He first gets a glimpse, a thought of something in his mind. He dropped it out on paper, but he doesn't have all the details in. But he keeps going back and entertaining that thought. And the more he entertains that thought, is the more you see all the details being filled in. But it's not exactly right. Let's say a client comes now and the client has a specifically shaped, let's say a triangular shaped piece of land. But they love this house that this architect has dreamed up in its mind, right? Then the architect still's got to keep going back to the drawing board, keep looking at it, refining, maybe really laying out the foundation part of it just a little bit different, shifting some rooms around in order to get it to fit with the topography of the land. That all starts in the mind. It starts internally. And that architect has to fine tune it to where it's now put on paper with specific measurements to precision. That is given to a builder who can then take that in the physical world and read the instructions that came out of the invisible world and formulate it in the physical world. So the house didn't just come out of the physical world. It did not. It came out of the invisible world, out of the quantum world in thoughts. So what does that have to do when you say, I have it? Okay, in the quantum field, and I made a lot of notes on this one, so I'll be looking down some. But in the quantum infinite field, everything is energy, right? There's no physical thing in the quantum field. The quantum field really is who we call, quote, God. And God is pure spirit. God is pure, formless energy. God is frequency. We tap into God based on frequency. And I'm going to go ahead and link that video here. I did a video a way back called Frequency. God is a frequency, and so are you. Because to connect with God the way you want to connect with God, and going back to what Tashana was saying about everything is now, you have to be on the frequency of now in order to receive that thing. So going back now to the quantum, in the quantum or invisible world, to God, who is God, God is not this man. God is pure intelligence, the infinite intelligence of all existence. God is infinite energy, fluid. It's always flowing, and it's flowing at various vibrational levels. That's what we call vibration, is the rate of the movement of the energy, and the scientific means that is used nowadays to measure that energy is calculated in what they call vibration. So because God is energy, fluid energy, God is always ever present. God doesn't have a past. There's no eternity's past. That's garbage. That's nonsense. Total nonsense. You can't have an eternity that is past. And you can't have an eternity that's to come. God is ever present now. God is unchangeable. God can't change to be at a past and going to be changing to be in a future. If not, God is changeable. God is unchangeable. God is ever present here and now. God is always present to you, for you. You just need to be able to accept that as true to you. Accept it not just as, belief upstairs in the head, but as a conviction in your subconscious mind that God is ever present to you. Ever present. No matter what the outward appearance is, there's no separation. God is ever present. Ever present means ever right here, right now. So God is always now. If God is always now, then God does not know time and God does not know space. And as I've discussed in many of my videos going back, time and space are human constructs. They're things that humanity have made up for this human experience. Okay? So, but they are not the truth of who God is, or the truth, which takes you back to the truth of who you, because you are God, of who you are. So when you are ready to start stepping out of time and space, you will start stepping out of all limitations. And when you hear about in the manifesting world, when they talk about manifesting, I personally teach that manifesting is instantly the moment you take claim of it. But when they talk about the thing that they're manifesting shows up instantly, I mean within hours or a day or two, What they're talking about is stepping into that state of consciousness with the flow of that thing, because that thing that you're wanting to manifest, it already exists. If it didn't exist, you could have never desired it. You could have never wanted it. So your desires already exist. They already exist. What you're desiring is not, quote, as God, when you're coming from the God state. What you're desiring is not to have it because you have a lack of it. In my previous video, we talked about ask, believe, receive. So you're not desiring it because you're asking for it because you don't have it. No, you are desiring it because you already have it. It's intuitive to you. It is within you, my friends. It is whatever that is you're desiring. If it's a desire of your soul, it's already inside of your soul. If not, you could have never desired it. The desire itself is simply saying, I want to experience it in the physical world. And when you want to experience it in the physical world, you can't ever possibly be denied. No way. Can't be denied. Not when you know who you are. I have a video where I talked about why your desires are all guaranteed. And I'm going to make a note here because I'm going to link it to the box in my description box. So you look down there for it, right? So anyway, when you desire something, going back to Shauna's comment or experience, whatever that is you desire that you're manifesting, you have it here and now. And the reason that you have it here and now is because it cannot be coming. It just cannot be coming. It cannot be coming because God can never be becoming. God can't be becoming. God always is. God is. If God is, then the desire already is. If you are convinced, though, but God must respond to you based on your conviction. So if your conviction is that you're not able to accept with conviction that you already have it here and now because God is here and now, and that thing is yours here and now the moment you took claim or possession of it. If you're not able to accept that, but you're accepting that it is unfolding, it is coming, then God must reflect that out to you in your experience that yes, you are in this loop where you're always expecting it and it never shows up. On the other hand, when you understand and know that yes, there's only this moment, and that was Tashana's revelation, which is the truth. There's not a moment past back there. And there's not a moment going forward there because time and space are just illusions. They're human constructs. But to the source of you, there's no back there. Back there are simply memories of the egoic mind who loves to live in the past. Why does it love to live in the past? Because it is the limited part of you. It's a part of the human limitations. It is limited. So it feeds and thrives off of what happened, all the memories it collected, which are usually distorted, of what it perceives, believes happened back then, or what it is projecting is going to be happening in the future. And as long as you're allowing your egoic mind to dominate you by continuously taking you back to the past, we have to look at really what happened. We have to really analyze it and assess it. We have to understand it before we can move on. We have to fix it before we can move on. Then God in you must become that past to you and continue to play out or give you experiences to repeat that thing that you're trying to get away from back there. Why? Because you're commanding it so by accepting it so back there. On the other hand, coming forward now to today's conversation, in let's say manifesting, as long as you're looking at your manifestation as it's coming to me, Oh yeah, I received it. I believe I received it. It is coming to me. Oh yes, it's coming to me. It is coming to me. It's coming to me in divine timing. Divine timing is nonsense. There's no divine timing. It's nonsense. It is nonsense. How can there be divine timing when God can't know time? God don't know time. Divine timing is your timing. So if your timing is saying, it is coming to me, then that is your divine timing for you. And the God of you has to reflect it that way, that it is coming to you. If you're of the state of consciousness where you're aware that, whoa, wait a minute, creation is complete, all things are already mine, I already have it. God is always here and now. I am here and now. The soul of me, who is God, is here, is now. I have it. If I took possession of it, then I must have it. Of course I must have it. So I have it. I have it here and now. Not I have it coming. No, I have it here and now. People, this takes you back to conviction. This is the conviction that you have to have of convincing yourself unwaveringly. Convinced, I have it. I have it. I don't have to see it. I have it. And because I know I have it, then I will see it, because it has to show up. And it has to show up based on my conviction that I have it here and now. I have it. I just have it. I have it. When you know you have it, you know you can't be denied. No, never, ever can't be denied. When you know you have it, you know there are no circumstances or situations that can thwart your plans. No, nothing can delay it. Nothing can thwart it. It's never coming. God's source does not know timing. Does not. When we release the ego from the limited mind, right? We release all the limitations. And then we step into the state of consciousness where we're now able to access limitless potential and possibilities. When you're manifesting from the God state, and this takes us back really what Tashana is saying to the God state. When you're in the God state and you're flowing in the flow of God as God, and you're having this awareness that I am God, I already have it. It is already mine. When I say I have it because in the infinite quantum field, or the invisible field, if you will, that thing already exists. It's not coming. It already exists. I already have it. It is within me. I am the source of it. I have it now. And when we go back to the quantum physics, right? Because quantum physics now shows us that what is happening in what we call the spirit world or the energetic world is it's just really energetic waves that are collapsing. We're collapsing states of consciousness. So we're saying, wait a minute, when I took possession of that thing that is in this state of consciousness, usually what we desire to experience is in a higher state of consciousness than we are at the moment energetically. So when we desire that thing is not coming down to us. No. When we desire that thing and we choose to receive that thing, the very act of our faith, our conviction, which is the potency of our energy, right? Then elevates us to here. We have to step out of here, this level of consciousness, and come up to here, to this level of consciousness with that thing. When we step to this level of consciousness with that thing, then yes, that's when we have that inner witness that, wait a minute, I have it. I have it. I have it. I have it here and now. I have it here and now. Why do I have it here and now? Because there are infinite versions of you going on. It's not just the you you're looking at in the mirror. I'm not just the version of me you're looking at, seeing me on your phone or your tablet or your computer or your TV. No. There are infinite versions of each of us, energetically, not physically, energetically, as God within. So going back to what Tashana said now, when I say that I have it, I'm saying in all the infinite fields of possibility, it's a desire that came to me. I chose to take possession of it. Then yes, I have it, because there is already a version of me in the infinite quantum field that is that person that has that. And I am now stepping up into this higher state of consciousness to come in harmony with it. That's the only way I'm going to be able then to receive it or experience it pushed out in the physical world. I trust that this is making a lot of sense and clarifying a lot of things for y'all. And I don't want to keep beating this horse to pieces, but I'm taking you back. It goes back to your self-concept. And I think a lot of my conversations going forward now are going to be going back to talking about your self-concept. Yes. Because when you don't have a good concept of yourself and you don't know that you're God, you cannot solidify the conviction or the faith that is required to bring forth these things you're wanting to manifest. There's no way you should be manifesting something for months, and some of you are for years. I mean, some of y'all for years. Some of y'all can't manifest $1,000 in a week. You just can't. And it should never be that way. $1,000 should be intuitive to you. You should have that in your account in 30 minutes. You know, how are you going to manifest a healing from something them doctors tell you they can't do nothing at all for you? Are you going to give up and check out? Because if you give up and check out, guess what you're going to get to do? You're going to get to come back into this life experience again until you get it right. Because that's what your awakening is about. You were here before, you didn't get it right. We all were. So we're back to getting it right. Or if we got it right the first time, we did not come to the end of it. We did not accelerate it to the highest state of consciousness where we need to be. That's why we're back here. So again, there is no coming. In the source, there is no time space. In the source, who is fluid, infinite energy, it is always ever present now. This requires the conviction of your unwavering belief that you cannot be denied. This requires your unwavering conviction that you don't need to see it physically. Stop looking in the 3D. When you're deliberately manifesting from the God state, you don't look in the three-dimensional world because you're not bringing it out of the three-dimensional world. It can't come from there. It already is. It already is. And when you're ready to step up to that state of consciousness, that's the work you have to do. The work you have to do is to continue to put down the ego, continue to transform the ego, continue to break that thing, continue to die to it, put it to a death. I don't mean the ego itself, it's your personality, but the beliefs of the ego, where it has lived in the limitations of the past. You have to put it to a death. You can't play footsie with it. I'm sorry. You can't be accommodating it and then talk about, well, you know, my ego always tells me this and tells me that. So who is the boss? Who is in charge? You or the ego? Because if the ego is always telling you what the life experience is going to be, then the ego is in charge and it's not you. So in essence, you have not stepped up to being God of your life. You have not stepped up to that state of awareness, that state of consciousness where you indeed are living in the awareness of being God of you. You are God of you. You are God of your life. You're God of your world. You're God of your universe. You're not God of anybody else. No, not your spouse, not your children, not your partner, not your parents, not your friends. You are God of you in your world. You and you and you alone, my friend, are the absolute only one who gets to determine every single thing that you experience in your world. And no one or anything in this existence can deny you. It's only you. And it's all right here, just right here. So go back to who you are within. Go back to who you are within. Go back to the consciousness of the God presence within you, and really, honest to God, come to terms about what are your deep subconscious convictions of you, who you have been believing that you are, and your expectations from your world. Because once you shift that, you change up everything. I mean, everything. Everything changes. So when you wish to experience something greater than what is in the human form, you can't do it from the human form, in other words. You just can't. You have to step out of the egoic self, the human form. You have to step within you into the God presence of who you are. You are the soul. You are God. You are the soul. And in the soul, as the soul, come back to the remembrance that, wait a minute, I desire this thing, then I'm remembering that I already have it. I already have it. And if I still want it, I simply take possession of it. I claim it. I have it now. And when I say you have it now, right? I don't mean you have it now like in a tantalizing thought in the mind. I mean the having it now, that's also for some people who are able to access that state of consciousness and they have the awareness that they have it now. They may still need to continue to affirm that, yes, it is true. It is so real to me. You have to be able to literally experience it in the invisible world as if it was a physical, tangible thing. So what do I mean by that? Like Tashana said, she had the realization that she have it now. It means when you step into that state of consciousness where the thing is and you take possession of it now, then let's say it's $1 million. You have to then, as this new version of this person who has $1 million, you have to truly be able to resonate and identify, I am this millionaire. I actually have $1 million. Oh my God. What does it feel like waking up and knowing I have $1 million in my checking account today? I can do anything in the world I want to do. What does that feel like to me? How do I feel? How does that make me feel about myself? What does it do for me in my world? What difference is it going to make to me in my life? This is how you think. Because if you were already a millionaire with $1 million in your account, you wouldn't be thinking about what it's like to get it. No, of course not. You'd be thinking about what's the next purse we're going to buy? What's the next piece of bling we're going to be getting? Or who are we going to give a blessing to? Who are we going to help? Who are we going to do something for? What's the next trip we're going to take around the world? Okay? So it's stepping into that state of being. All things are possible to you. Nothing is off limits. I had a YouTube subscriber write me last week and say, that, and I don't know if it's a male or female, but this person was saying that they've been following my content and applying it diligently. And when they started out, they just had this dream of traveling the world, around the world. But at that time, it just looked totally futile. They just couldn't see a way out at all. But they started applying what I teach. And they were writing me to say, here I am 2 years later, and I'm actually writing you from Thailand. I'm actually traveling the world for 6 months. You understand that? Because they stepped into that state of reality. That is the true reality. And they occupied it there. They lived in their head in there. until it embodied them and became their physical experience. So, I'm happy to bring this conversation to you. Thanks again to Shana for the inspiration. So if you need help in this area, right? If you really, really need help with solidifying some of these things in your own life, then I'm going to suggest to you, go ahead and check out my new self-concept course. And if you need more help beyond that, then my coaching is opening again for the fall. And like I always tell y'all, it is always booked up. Don't use the calendar on my website. Again, do not book coaching. Do not pay attention to the calendar on my website. If you want coaching with me, contact me from the contact page on my website, whether by WhatsApp or email. Let me know, and I will let you know what my availability is. My coaching is always booked. Why? I get results. So if this is something you're going to be needing help with, and I suggest, not because I need for you to come and have coaching with me. No, you can get it somewhere else if you'd like. But for those of you that are still struggling with your identity within, your conviction of your self-concept, and manifesting an effortless life, because life was made to be easy, effortless. You don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to take inspired actions. You don't have to do nothing when you're manifesting from the God state. So if you need help with that, go check out my coaching. And I do offer a split payment option for you through PayPal. So go check that out. But you can help yourself invest. It's an investment in yourself. Anyway, that's going to be it for it. I enjoyed bringing this to you. It's always my joy. I look forward to these videos. I look forward to meeting up with you all. I love you all so dearly. I love you to pieces. And I do appreciate you watching. Thank you all also for the growth that we're doing here on YouTube. You notice we're over the 5,000, right? We're going. I'm taking it to 10. So help me get there. Keep sharing these videos. And you have yourself a magnificent week. I mean, just a magnificent week. Expect the best. Okay? Set that as your intention going into the week. Expect the best. Expect unexpected blessings to show up for you and watch them unfold. Okay, so until next time, I'm going to say bye-bye for now. Remember, there's one love. There's only one love. There's one God, one source, one love. We're all it. So until next time, peace. Bye-bye for now.